Glad to have you back. You are watching TalkBack here with Shaikh Rasheed Ahmad. Let's time travel a bit. Back in the 90s, mid-90s, 1995 actually, you were witness to an illegal deal between Fatah MNAs and the Prime Minister.
There are many times then people been hire and fire and purchasing M&A in
and
my...
you were witness to those?
Maybe sometime, but I never said like this.
So
if
Minister,
I said
the question is simple. You're a downtown man. Why don't you draw the line? Why don't you resign? Why don't you set a benchmark for people to follow?
This, I think, this theory, the practical politics is totally different with this beautiful theory. You know, people if think that the principle...
Don't you think you'll be the bigger man if you ignore practical politics and set a standard? Your constituency will still like you, won't they?
Yeah, but I can't, you know, it's a way to think one side. If I think other side, you know, when you think you have to think both the side, that if I'll resign, what I'll do? Can I serve? Can I do? Can I think?
You won as an independent.
Yeah, I won 3 times as an independent.
What's wrong with that?
But
if
I delivered that also. I'm going to contest people because I have delivered to the people. If I don't deliver to the people are, you know, we're talking about a nation.
So you need a ministry.
Sometime, yes, I need a ministry.
You work for the portfolio.
You're right sometime. Yes, you're right.
Okay, moving on. Speaking of portfolios,
okay,
let's talk about the Pakistan Railways.
Yeah.
Claims, I don't know if this sounds familiar, but it should. Quote, railways will be revamped before polls. This is you on January 26, 2007. I will prove that I will run the Railways Ministry as efficiently as I ran the Information Ministry. I represent the grassroots, so I know how to alleviate the problems of the railways. I'm giving a 30-day time period to all Pakistan Railway employees to adjust themselves to a new reality. All of this is you.
Yeah.
You were asked in the National Assembly why you spent 2 crores on an advertising campaign.
A very good thing. Yeah, you're right.
So we're going to ask the same question. What do you have to prove yourself and your performance at the Pakistan Railways?
So I'm proud of that. I'm the only man who delivered in this country last 60 years in railway. Number 1, I have introduced for poor people 23 trains, and the last train I'm going to introduce this month before leaving railway. And this is in lesser fare. And you'll be surprised to know, and Prime Minister admitted day before yesterday that you did an excellent job and this is your personality. I have introduced the train with the 600 rupees only to Karachi. We have introduced the credit card. We have introduced the e-ticketing. We have introduced the, you can call the ticket at your house. We are going to introduce, and we have already on Saturday, we are going to make in larger, all the post offices. You don't need to come to the railway station. You can go to the post offices. And you will surprise, first time in railways after 26 years, I have increased 1 grade to all the railway labor, poor laborers.
But Minister, why are there, let me just come back with that. We appreciate for you setting the record straight for your achievements. But this is what the newspapers are running. Rail tracks become a death trap. This is dawn, January 2000. Train accidents increase in 2006, 2007. 245 train accidents in 3 years. 38 derailments in 4 months. Railway lines in slums. Station masters on strike. 2 Dyers train hits tractor. Rail traffic suspended for 4 hours. Railways remain 15.6% behind budgetary target. This came out of a memo for the GM operations for the results of the first financial months last year. Only 48 trains making profit. This is a news story. 48 out of 255 trains. This is internal railway sources talking. The share of passenger services, and goes on to compare that, the share of passenger services in the 50s in Pakistan was 41%. Now it is 10%. Freight down from 73, freight services from 73% to 4%. Even the Minister of State said in the National Assembly, 2,000 unmanned railway crossings are a cause for accidents. Railways need 30 billion rupees for rehabilitation, and there's still British era machines being used.
Something, of course, this track is 111 years old, somewhere. Old signal systems. Still there is gasoline, lighting system.
Minister, this is the thing. 6.3 right now, this is where the Pakistan Railways stand. Allow me, please. 6.3 billion rupees in subsidies last year were received from the government of Pakistan. You have 19 electric locomotives which are aged over 25 years of age. You have 54% of those of diesel electric locomotives, which out of a total of 512 are overage. 30% of your passenger coaches are overage. 90% of telecom and signals equipment is overage. Currently, there are as many as 15 loss-making sections. You requested the Prime Minister to cover those costs for a socio-economic sector costs. You don't want the railways to cover that. 215 uneconomical trains there are out there out of 255. The financial bottom line is even more scary. 19 billion rupees in overdraft last year from the State Bank of Pakistan. The current losses this year, according to railway sources, is 3.5 billion just in passenger operations. We're not even talking about freight. And freight capacity is only 4% of total road. 4% of what one train, by the way, can carry 120 truckloads. You've been criticized for not doing enough to get rid of the road mafia. Because today, if you stand in Karachi and see a freight train, only 30% of it will be filled. 4% of just 4% is being headed towards the rest of the nation, towards dry ports, toward Afghanistan. And this is the statistic of all statistics, which should be very scary, that not one passenger train, this is out of Pakistan Railways logs, which we got information from. And this is a challenge from Dawn News, that if this can be tackled with, you should tackle it. Not one passenger train in the last 6 months has reached its destination in Pakistan on time.
You give me a credit at least with such an old infrastructure, and we have no freight trains. Sorry, I mean to say we have no freight wagons. We have started making it now, and we are trying to locomotives with the 5
What
trial.
about your passenger services? Your passenger services are running in a 3.5 billion rupee loss.
Yeah, passenger service, of course, if
And you're
52.
still introducing new trains.
Yeah, 52, because I have to care for a poor people also. 9 crore people, 90 million people traveling every year, and it's going to be increased 10 this year.
You know what critics say to that?
Yeah.
You have been on the record, you said this before, this is
Yeah.
nothing new you're saying.
Yeah.
But people inside the Pakistan Railways, experts who work for you, have said that why doesn't our minister, Shaikh Rasheed Ahmad, optimize the current railway network? Because what you have, sir, for example, Pindi to Karachi and Pindi to Lahore, you started trains from Pindi to Karachi and Pindi to Lahore. First of all, you've gotten flack because you are from Pindi. So you've gotten flack from people within the railways and without the railways saying that you introduced those trains just because you wanted to serve your constituency. Secondly, those trains are running right now at 50 to 60% capacity right now, just 50 to 60% capacity. Thirdly, they're making a loss. People within Pakistan Railways who've been doing this for 20, 30 years, career officers, say that you should have optimized the current capacity.
Okay, because they don't want to work. You must appreciate I started all these trains from the same capacity. These officers want to sleep in their new garden. They want to live a luxurious life in 20 canal houses and the gardens. And I challenge you that none of the train which I have introduced is less than 80%. And the poor train which I have started, it's 160%. People are traveling in toilets. People are traveling in a, what I have to say, like animals. People don't have any money. So I am the minister who knows that this is the duty of a government. A government, this is his duty to serve for their traveling benefits.
So you're saying that
let me finish. I have listened to you.
You're saying trains running, I just want to clear something up you just said. You're saying trains running from Pindi, for example, we're just going to take Pindi's case, are over limit. You're not saying they're under limit.
No, no way. I challenge you. You make record this. Not a single train, even there are seats are not available. I have introduced the system. When there is a, low the capacity, I make, this is not the old system, every time you have the same fares. So sometime I reduce 25% to make it 100%.
Then Minister, why are you running in a 3.5 billion passenger operations loss?